Welcome. Welcome to Miss Annie's in North Eleuthera, the Bahamas, Shared Space Project. I am Ya Elohim, and I'm so glad you're here. What we're going to be talking about in this video and PowerPoint presentation is the self-health in the Bahamas. We want to share with you our low-stress environment with self-health amenities. So what is self-health? Self-health is all about quality of life, enjoying ourselves, and bringing out our inner child, that playful nature, that joyous love for life, and the tools and techniques that are required in order to accomplish that goal. So that's kind of what I just said. Self-health is wellness tools and techniques that are mostly self-prepared and self-administered. Self-health is the cornerstone of everyone's well-being. It includes the day-to-day choices and practices that help to enhance our lives. It includes the choices that impact our long and short-term well-being. Our location provides a quiet and secure experience. And again, it's a location to provide a safe space to learn about healing and wellness, or just to rest and relax. You don't have to have an agenda, but we want to share an agenda with you in case that is your interest. So that can include exercise and body movement. It can include breathing techniques. It can include detox practices and supplementation, highly nutritious food, growing and producing our own, preparation of elixirs and tonics. So all this has to do with choices. Self-health is mostly a series of small choices that we make moment by moment that over time add up to big things. Healing is mostly about a set of small choices that lead to actions and activities that add up to large and significant outcomes. For example, smoking. Smoke, some people take a puff off of their cigarette or whatever every now and then, like every few months or whatever. So that is toxic to the body. However, because it's done in small amounts and the body has time to heal and it's not like a daily thing, then the chances of the harm to the body are less than for someone who is participating chronically in behavior that's toxic to the body. So the opportunity for healing comes every time we get to choose, make the choice about the next course of action. And Sometimes those choices and those opportunities to choose come hundreds of times a day. So this image here is again choices. This is a young black man standing in line at McDonald's, they said, and it became like viral or iconic for choices. And it's supposed to symbolize a lack of choices. It's not really about a lack of choices. It's about lack of knowledge of choices. So what we want to do with self-help is increase our knowledge of our choices. So this is our location. This is North Eleuthera in the Bahamas. Welcome. It's less than a 1 hour flight from Fort Lauderdale. There's also flights out of Atlanta and Charlotte and Miami. So out of Atlanta, it's Delta. Out of Orlando and Fort Lauderdale, you take Silver Airways. And from Miami, I believe it's American. So Miss Annie's is in the Bluff settlement. A settlement is like a town but smaller. That's the term for places where people have settled. So the Bluff is on the west coast. This is the airport that you would arrive at. Well, there's 3 airports in Eleuthera. The one closest to our location is North Eleuthera Airport, also called ELH. That's the code for the airport. Yeah, just said that. So the destination, once you get to North Eleuthera, is Miss Annie's on the Bluff. It's owned by Mr. Cecil Hilton. He was born on this land and he still resides. So in the event that you come and share space there, you'll meet Mr. Cecil Hilton, 84 years young. That's him. I might have, is that him twice? Oh no. So that's him, not the best image. That's him sitting by one of his vehicles, just in the yard chilling, taking a well-deserved chill out. Okay, so this is actually the rear view, kind of, lower down. And behind you see verandas and, yeah, basically you see the verandas. These are the rear view. Okay. This is the space itself. And this is an example of a condo.
This is the famous midnight here in the fridge. That's the kitchen. One bathroom here. Midnight's room here. This is the master suite here. Hi! Big closet here. And the bathroom here too.
So, as can be seen, the spaces are spacious. Okay, this is part of the grounds.
Early morning walk. I guess I have to hold down the video button. This is up here at the bluff. This is where we're staying. This is what I want to purchase. So we're up high, really high. Coconut trees. It's early morning, maybe, I don't know, 6 something. So I came out of the west facing side. This is a similar view to when we look out the back. We're facing east. No, we're facing west actually. So I'm actually on the east facing side because this is where we see the sunset. Okay, some people are staying right there. Part of our crew, our team. And here are the coconut tree.
And here's some other views. This is we are facing in the afternoon and then at sunset. So of course this is a west facing space. To face east and west, the balcony are in the west facing. So this is kind of the local area. You walk downhill from where we were, and these are just examples of um, the natural, really uncommercialized dock and location, natural beach, if you want to call it. But there's several businesses here, or there used to be. Actually, they're all no longer there, but their structures are still there. And you will see the restaurant, especially if you go into the videos that are about our projects. So this is the restaurant I was just speaking about. It's right there on the dock. I really have my eyes on this. This is the natural beach. You walk down the hill in the morning early and you go for a local swim. This is the same dock.
Well, looks like they worked on the dock a little bit. That's Spanish Wells over there. That island. See all that's Spanish Wells. This is Eleuthera. Reggae show, fish fry every Friday night on the fishing boat, Morgan Lee. And these are private islands off in the distance. You would probably have to magnify this video, but you see these over here this way to the north, that's Spanish Wells. And down this way to the south, and this is southwest, private islands. And here's the restaurant. I just really want to do this restaurant.
This is the dock. This is a different dock. This is the dock where you get the water taxi to Harbor Island for $5. This is an example of a water taxi. So you can see it's right off the dock. And this is the same dock. A good
You take the boat
view.
to go to Eleuthera and other islands. See, it's crowded with a whole bunch of different humans. Okay.
Reminds you of Africa big time. So this is on the boat to harbor. In the Bahamas, business ownership is mostly Bahamian. Bahamians dominate also in the hospitality industry at all levels. Haitians provide most of the wool manual labor needed, digging ditches and scraping, painting. Um, like I said, wool manual. So Eleuthera is two sides. It's the Atlantic Ocean side and it's the Caribbean Sea side. So what we have been looking at up to now is mostly the Caribbean Sea, even the boat where the boats are, and in right where the swimming area is. All that is the Caribbean. This is the Atlantic side. It's bluer, windier, and definitely rougher. There are many shipwrecks out in that water. So one of the things that we are doing is collaborating with some of the people who are already doing things. So there's a brother Ezra, and he owns Paradise Farm. It's 53 acres on the Caribbean side. He has a sort of non-retreat retreat. He don't really do anything. You just lie there and listen to the sound of the water hitting the limestone, and it's just so amazingly healing. See, I'm just laying there doing nothing. Love it. And rest assured, um, in Eleuthera, in the south side, they have all the typical tourist amenities. So some people might want to take a time and go look and see what's there. But essentially, what we're offering is rest, rejuvenation, and healing, even though we do adventures as well. So that, yeah, that's one of our little favorite areas.
Here he comes. And there he
So,
goes. And here he
okay,
comes on the
here's something you can
ATV.
do. This is
Look
in
at this
Paradise
now.
Farm. You want
We,
something to
we
do?
really want to come
You
do
can
this
ride the
here.
ATV
Check it out. See this
around the farm,
element
explore the
doing
farm
what
on
he
the
does.
ATV.
And look.
Those are our friends Avis and Ezra.
So how
Uh,
was that ride?
Exciting. Nice.
Very nice. Here he
so this is a tourist attraction. It's a
This
blue
is the
hole.
blue hole in Eleuthera, north of Eleuthera here. I'm about 30 feet up. It's supposed to be about 50 feet deep.
This looks kind of like the one in Dominica, except it was at ground level.
How do you get out of there when you dive in?
They have
So in terms of construction, one of our colleagues is constructing these round dwellings on the shore in Currents, which is another settlement. There's been definitely a lot of concern about sea level rise and flooding and hurricanes. So a lot of this construction addresses that, even though we know nature is supreme and conquers everything. However, instead of like the whole mindset or the way of looking at construction and living is changing. So instead of like running from sea level rise, how can we adapt ourselves and the way we live and how we do things to be able to accommodate as much as possible? What kind of changes can we do in harmony with nature that mitigates some of the risk, you know? So as changes and improvements occur, they're implemented as necessary.
End up in Carolina in the back here. One end up in back of her Lower Bogue, Spanish Well area.
yeah.
They got that one free. And it
And
was
then the
all about,
ones
and
you
then
and Jim knows
they
saw,
were
you all
showing it,
helped get him out.
yeah, how direct him out into the ocean was going off of NASA area. He was sighting there off of NASA. So I have a skull of one of the whales,
Wow.
and even though it might not seem like history to plenty people, I have some photos of the guys helping the whale out. So that's going to be in our museum with them and written up stuff on this stuff.
And it's very article what they wrote on it. We have, because that's one of the projects we want to do. Like Mr. Farmer one, what's his name? And that's one of the projects we want to do. We want to do a
Old
museum.
Town, we call it.
Yeah. And
Old
we want
Town
to show
Museum,
people
and
how
we
we
want to
lived
be,
back in the
all the
day.
sewing machines, anything old, anything. End up carrying out in the backyard.
So we talked a lot about the external environment. We showed a video of the interior of the condo. I know when I travel, there's certain things that I usually have to carry with me in order to maintain the way that I choose to eat and drink and live. One of the things that's important about Miss Annie's is we want to provide more and more of those amenities. This is what we're getting started with on the list that we're about to review. And we want definitely look forward to insight, input. That's going to be a big part of anyone who comes to see the space, to see if it's a good fit for them. We want to get your input about helpful amenities. And we have our food processor, I'm not going to say everything, but does everyone get a copy of this presentation? Okay, so this part here is really about our projects. And for anyone who's not really interested in the details of our projects, you could just skip these 3 slides, but just for information, that would be the restaurant project, the farm project, Project? And the Miss Annie's Project, which is what we're mostly talking about here. Some of those videos are lengthy. They'll play from the presentation. So if you have interest, please review them. And they also give instructions about how to move to the next stage.
Greetings, family.
So Here's some of the challenges. Um, the property was built in 1990, which is really not that long ago, and it hasn't really had much upkeep or much energy put into it for whatever reason. So now, 30 or so years later, 30, 40, there are things that are needed. Mr. Hilton is 84. He resides there alone. He's constantly putting money into trying to fix things, um, especially the pool and the jacuzzi, I guess I would say. So we want to be of assistance with that in terms of helping with the challenges. And there's a video that talks about the finance side, which is not in this video. And for those who have greater interest, one of the things you can do is let me know, and we'll provide you greater information about how you're able to participate. This is more just laying out the project, laying out what we're doing. And let us say we're just passing through the Bahamas. We intend to leave these projects with Bahamians. We can get passive flow from it, absolutely. But the Bahamas is definitely not my end destination unless that's what happens, unless it's the will of the Almighty. So it's built in the 90s, and there are items. Then the plumbing needs work. There's termites in the building. The bathroom fixtures need basically replacing. The tiling needs to happen in the bathroom. The pool and jacuzzi are in a constant state of repair, and I've never seen them work. Our goal will be to make a decision about the best way to move forward with the project upon purchase. What we're doing now strategically is working to stabilize the property because it's basically vacant. And so we want to get some flow in. And as we have the flow, that then we can determine what is the best course of action. It's like, let's just take the first step and let this be our self-help space where we can launch off and do other wonderful adventures and accomplishments. So what's next? So we're inviting you who's listening to communicate with others and develop like a team or set of ambassador or representatives to be able to come take a look. So it might be 3, 4, 5 families. Get 1 or 2 people out of that 3, 4, 5 families to come and stay 4 days and 3 nights. Get to show you some of the other things, especially more about what's in the projects. And then you can do the amenities because this is a self-help. This is not so much like a caretaker practitioner. We do have practitioners affiliated with what we're doing. This is things like reflexology, moxa, the lamp, things that you can do for yourself. Learning the sprouting and learning maybe different ways to do what you're already doing. And then we want your knowledge, expertise. We're not putting ourselves up as the authority. What we're doing is assembling a space for self-help. Self-help. Experience, we want to hear, you're like the focus group. And we want Mr. Hilton and his affiliates to see our seriousness and our love for the project. Mr. Hilton wants to remain on the property for as long as he's living, and I really feel that that's one of the most important reasons that we're doing this, so we can stabilize it. He doesn't have to think about that anymore. So there are some upcoming work projects, and we may be able to talk about exchanging some residence time for some of those projects. So that's why I say the most important thing is just to follow up with me at this point. This is my contact information, and reach out to me and we can talk further, answer your questions and concerns. So thank you. That is actually the end of the presentation. Really love the time and energy, approximately 30 minutes. So it was a little better than I thought. I thought it might go 40 or 50 or even an hour. So thank you. Ashe.